My neighbor turned my house into a zoo. Hey Reddit, I have a story that's so bizarre, I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. It all started with my neighbor Greg and his rather unconventional idea of community involvement. A few weeks ago, Greg, who's known for his quirky hobbies, approached me with what he called a fun project. He wanted to transform our houses into a neighborhood animal sanctuary and thought it would be a great way to bring the community together. I thought he was joking until he showed up with a bunch of animals. At first, it was just a few chickens and ducks in his backyard, and I figured it was a harmless eccentricity. But then Greg got more ambitious. One morning, I woke up to find that he had set up makeshift pens in my front yard. I had no idea how he managed to get the permits, but suddenly there were goats, rabbits, and even a couple of pigs right outside my door. Things got even crazier when Greg decided to expand the sanctuary into my house. He started bringing in animals while I was at work. I came home to find my living room turned into a mini barnyard, complete with hay bales, a goat named Bubbles, and a couple of very curious pigs. My furniture was covered in straw, and the smell was, well, let's just say it was unforgettable. I was furious and confronted Greg immediately. He was apologetic and claimed he thought it would be a fun surprise. He promised to clean up the mess and move the animals back to his place. But that's when things went from bad to worse. Greg's cleanup involved moving the animals around, but not actually removing them from my house. They stayed in my kitchen, bathroom, and even my bedroom for a few more days. I had to call in animal control and the local authorities to get the situation under control. Greg was fined for violating multiple health and zoning regulations. He was heartbroken, but honestly, the chaos he caused left me feeling more than a little frustrated. After a week of dealing with the mess and restoring my house to its original state, I finally managed to reclaim my space. Greg's animals were eventually relocated to a proper sanctuary, and he received a stern lecture about respecting other people's property. The whole ordeal was exhausting and stressful, but on the bright side, I now have a pretty wild story to share at parties. The neighborhood is back to normal, and Greg has since toned down his eccentricities. I just hope he sticks to less invasive hobbies in the future. Moral of the story: if your neighbor suggests turning your house into a zoo, make sure you set some boundaries. Or better yet, just say no from the start.